Brews and Banter.
Hi, Frank.
Hey, Roman.
And do a little different start on our episode today.
Yeah.
So we just recorded an interview with Stephanie from 714 Brewery, California. She's one of our OG followers.
Such a good time.
It was a great interview. We're gonna play that interview now, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
She's very personable, but let us know what you guys think about this format, and maybe we can do this moving forward as well.
Yeah. So see you in a little bit.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Frank, we have Stephanie from 714 Brewery with us today. And we go way back.
All one year.
When we first started, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Stephanie from 714 Brewery was the first brewery that communicated with us back and even sent us some merchandise, which I apologize. I forgot to wear my shirt.
I got it.
That's okay.
I got it.
He's wearing it. That's my favorite 714 shirt, actually. That's the one I always wear out.
So you were, I think, I was going back and we were kind of reviewing things. I think you were like our third follower on Instagram.
How cool. Right on. Cheers.
You're the OG.
Yeah, you're the OG, right?
So we're gonna
that's very cool.
we're gonna cheers with the beer, and we start every episode with the beer. I know you can't join us with the beer today, but we'll do it on your behalf. How's that?
Next time for sure.
Next time for sure.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have many more of these and fucking did it again.
But we're gonna cheers to you for taking your time to do this with us, and
fuck it up
someday Frank will get it right. But
nice.
Cheers to you, Stephanie, and to your brewery.
Yep. Cheers. Cheers to beer.
That's right.
That's right.
So we appreciate you joining us. I know we've communicated a little bit, actually probably a lot over the last year, and we weren't able to kind of mesh our schedules. And I wish we could have got together when you were in New York City. But that's, 4 hours away from us. But maybe sometime we'll be able to do that. But as Roman said, so you own a brewery, or you are a home brewer.
Yeah, so we're like an underground beer brand. We actually did get as far as having our own location, and then some things happened with not being able to put a floor drain in. So we had to actually move back out, which that was all exciting. So right now we're just still we're doing a lot of events. We definitely sponsor and support locals in our area in Huntington Beach. And just donate beer and try to be a part of the scene as much as possible. We just really support the beer community and love being a part of it. And we love making beer and sharing.
Yeah, I saw that on the website. I think it said, I think you make 7 beers now, 7 different kinds.
Okay, so we have a tropical blonde. We have a black dragon lager. So 1, 2, we have our thiolated state of mind. We have our BIP, our tropical invasion. So we're at
5.
9. We're about 9 beers, 10 with Chad, my brew partner. He's got 3 that he brought in. So we're probably around 11 beers now. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And our profile. Yeah.
You collaborating with another brewery that allows you to use their facility to brew?
No, I have my own lab. I have my own location where we brew. It's just a lab. Mm-hmm. And we have all of our own things. So, but when I first launched making beer back in 2013, and I got into it, I actually did contract brewing right off the bat with a local brewer here in HB who was kind enough to show me the ropes and teach me how to brew and really gave me full reign of it and showed me how to run a brewery and all of the cleaning. You have to do. He let me clean his brewery all the time. So, but he taught me so much. His name is Dennis Midden, and he had a brewery out here called Brew Bakers, and it was really the closest thing to old world brewing and the real authentic feel of the community. And it was so nice. So that's what kind of kept me motivated, is what he had taught me as a master brewer. For me, he was my master brewer.
Yeah, I read a little bit again on your website that you kind of went on this, I guess, spiritual journey. You were talking about you're helping friends raise some from animals, and then you kind of got in from there, and then you became an apprentice, and then that's probably how you met him, and then you started from there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Really awesome, and it's still going. Changed my life, actually. It's very magical brewing. So.
Well, you own a bunch of different businesses, I think, right?
I
Some
do.
other things, yeah.
I do own. I have two passions that I've been diligently working on since 2013. I simultaneously started the 714 Brew and Student Loan Resource Group, which is just basically being an advocate for borrowers and helping them educate them on how to get help and relief. So I do both of those. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
that's amazing. How many students did you guys help in since you started?
Okay, so when I went sole proprietor, in 2019, I started this in 2013, but from 2019 till current, we have probably about 700 or more clients.
Wow!
Great, sure.
Now, yeah,
that's amazing.
I know. I'm very happy. It's going well, but I get to help people, and it's very gratifying to actually help people. So yeah,
it is. I mean that changes their lives, sets them in the for their passion and the career they want to go for. That's amazing.
Absolutely, yeah. I can relate to that so much. So so every day I get to help people that are like definitely passionate and helping them with their financial future and credit and stuff. So
when you say you can relate to that, like you struggle to get a loan or something, or what do you mean?
I help people with federal debt. I actually in 2013 was struggling with my federal loan, and I went through all of the things that my clients went through. So when I got a job being able to advocate and help them also with what I had firsthand went through myself, that was when I became passionate about that. And then brewing beer came after that. I actually just from being in Central Coast and being able to get into like the 805.
Yep.
And then like in the 805, I was like ordering a Coors Light, and they were like, there's no Coors Lights here. Like, but like you want an 805? And I'm like, what in the world is that? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I just wanted beer. I love beer. And there's like, here, just drink this one. So that's kind of how I got introduced to 805 in the 805. But yeah, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. And I get back to HB, like, I'm going to do 714 Brew because 714 is cool.
Nice.
so that's it, and I did.
Perfect. Yeah, you're doing it right.
That was your introduction to craft beer?
I had craft beer in high school, but I didn't really it wasn't special to me. My first craft beer was in high school. And I didn't really think of it anything other than we drank a lot of Coors Light because we were always going to the river or the beach. Like beach beer was always Coors Lights were perfect. That's what all of us kids drank. But the first craft beer would have been from Belmont Brewing Company in Long Beach because I'm from Lakewood, California, and Lakewood and Long Beach are very close to each other. And I had a strawberry blonde. That was my first craft beer. But I didn't really, it wasn't anything that stuck out about oh, this was actually made here. Versus a corporate beer like Coors Light, I hadn't figured that out. So, but yeah.
When we're young, we our tastes are different and appreciation to.
Yeah, it's like Schlitz. All right, cool.
Well, you got a budget too.
We'll just drink Grandpa's beer.
So how jealous are we that most people don't find one job they like to do? You have two that you actually like to do.
I have two passions. Yeah. I'm blessed.
Yeah.
That's. Go ahead.
So I was looking at the your Black Dragon lager, and I'm like, oh, I think it's like a 5.6% ABV. But we started having some dark sours. I'm like, oh, those are pretty good because we weren't really much into dark beers, but now we're getting into those. And then that tropical invasion, is that what it is?
Tropical Invasion's amazing.
Yeah. We like
so
those too.
Good. Yeah, that's a specialty of Chad. My brew partner, he's a second lieutenant for the Army. Right now, he's actually traveling. Otherwise, I would have wanted him to be here. But he's in South Carolina. He's on work right now, active duty. So, but yeah, he's bringing a lot to this set. He also is Liquid Gravity. So he's an investor he invested into Liquid Gravity, which is a brewery in Central Coast. Phenomenal beer, beer that changed my entire perspective on beer. Really good stuff. So that was part of what his passion is as well. And we partnered probably a year and a half ago. Probably when I started meeting you guys, there was this whole energy that started. You guys were right there when that all started with all of our with Jade and everyone.
Yeah.
And then we're all still tight. We're all still working together. All the artists and everyone. We're all together still, but we all have other projects that started. And so it's kind of right now, it's being expended, but we're definitely a unit. We'll be back together again and creating more.
That's awesome. You guys started these projects and they're growing. You're not abandoning it, and
for sure.
if you can keep going and you have passion and you see success in the future in your projects, and you stick with it, it's great. Because some people just like, if they don't see a return right away, they either lose patience, they just drop them. You know what I mean? But
Totally.
it takes a mental challenge to keep going.
For sure, yeah, because it definitely has to be a genuine, true passion. You don't want to rely on it for money. There's so much more to when you actually find something that excites you and brings you, like, wakes you up and makes you like see the world in a different like way. It's passion. And it was a spiritual journey for me when that happened, and my life kept getting better. The people that I'd meet in the beer community, just going to breweries, it felt like family to me, and I didn't have a lot of family around. So I think that's what gravitated to me. And I was like, I want to be a part of this. I want to contribute. I want to keep craft brew alive because of all that it represents. To me, it's like a religion, like beer religion to me. Like Christianity is to religion, there's like beer religion to me, like what lager starts, like everything's like a lager, and then it goes into an ale or a brown ale or a pilsner or an IPA, or it's like there's a foundation, and there's so much there. Like, it's just an ever-ending journey. I'm constantly finding new things, studying new things about like where hops come from. Like, hops come from a vine which comes from the marijuana family. Like, that's pretty exciting. Like, I love hops. Like,
so it's part of like
cool.
hemp plant.
Yeah, the vine that comes from the marijuana family.
That's how. I was gonna say, like, it's a podcast. We don't make money here.
Right.
But we drink our money.
We keep going, and like you said, it's passion, right? Like, we enjoy it. We with help of social media, we've realized how big beer community is. I didn't get into craft beer till maybe a few years back. Started trying it out, and then with the podcast, it opened my eyes to like all these different types of craft beer, and I started to really enjoy stories from brewers who started their brewery, and like yourself, like where did the passion come from? Like, why did you start this? Like you tried this in high school, you drank one beer, and now you try this other one, and as you grow and you become part of communities, it expands, right? So I think that's amazing that you're sticking with it, you keep going, and thank you for reaching out to us and getting in touch with us.
So we thank you for still doing it. We thank you for your passion. We thank Chad for serving our country. We support that also. And
absolutely,
I love that. Absolutely, to have him to be interested in 714 Brew and join forces and make beer and work like on these projects with me. It has it's gone a whole different direction for us now. The support has been so good. We have so much love and support. Like, we definitely are going to keep going.
Awesome.
He'll be back. We're working on a project going into, like, Jim Campbell just started supporting us. He's the NHRA. So NHRA is actually for race cars. He does the funny race car, and so we just did an event with him at the Pomona racetracks. And so in November, we're going to be doing a huge event for that, and we're excited for that. Jim Campbell does the funny car race cars.
Yep.
And so that community has welcomed us and stuff. So we're on his car now. We have 714 Brew like on his car. So
that's awesome.
That's pretty exciting. That's our next event.
We have your sticker right there. Yeah. I don't know if you can see it.
It's such a cool logo. I love Ken. Ken Hope is he stepped up, and he's like, I made a logo for you. And I was like, what? We were shooting pool. And he's like, come here. Like, I made this logo for you. And I knew who Ken was. He's a really huge, amazing, like, he graduated from Boston University. Like, he's from the East Coast, and he is this amazing artist. And when he showed me that he made me a logo, it was pretty amazing, because I just started this by myself like in 2013. And in 2022, 2023, he came to me, and he's a very well-known artist in our community. So Ken Hope had he made our logo, and he showed me that, and I was like, that is the logo. So many artists along the way had made me logos. Were like, I made you this, like, and I was like, okay, cool. And they were really rad. I have a lot of really cool logos, but this one was like, I won't ever have another logo again. Like, that one represents us correctly for downtown HB and startup little beer companies.
Is he the one that design these? These shirts?
He sure is.
Yeah, I think I remember that one. I think I talked to him a little bit when you were sending these to us. And some hats. We got hats also.
Yeah, he does a pack to ship. So he handled all that with you. Yeah.
So is he the artist?
Yeah, this is so awesome.
Is he the artist that does all the artwork on your cans or on your bottles?
Yeah. So far, we have a new artist. Her name is Taj. And she's the one who's been doing like our latest. He did the previous our Irish Ale, our brown ale is like a previous one that he did. And we're holding on to those ones. That one and the Summer Blonde are the two logos and that he's worked on. But he actually started the two other projects. And he literally was like, I just don't have time to keep going with it. Like, I love you. I love 714 Brew and I'm here. But so Taj jumped on with us and she's like, the last 7 now are from Taj. She's our new artist.
So all you guys together, you're going to come back at some point. And I know this is what me and Roman like. So beer tells a story, right? This is your passion, but where you come up with the names, why you're doing the business, and how you got into it. Like, and that's what we kind of like. But I'm looking forward to the point where you guys will be able to all come together and work under some roof that's the same. And
we will.
So your separate projects you're doing now can be the main projects you're doing now.
We want a tap house.
Yeah, so
we
you
want
can
a
make
little
these.
Place where we definitely won't stop. We're going to be there.
Good.
We're going to be coming back together by October to just start working on our November project. So definitely, hopefully, we'll be talking to you guys.
Absolutely.
And when you guys are in California, hopefully, we'll have our tap house. That'll happen, and we're working on it. And that's what we want to do. We want to be a part. We want to be on the map with all the other breweries.
Absolutely. From
what kind of beer are you guys drinking?
This is a cream ale. Cream ale from Lunkenheimer.
Okay, no, I haven't even heard of a cream ale yet.
It's Lunkenheimer's local to us, but yeah, cream ale is pretty prevalent out here. I mean, there's where we are. I mean, you can see this sign. This is something we had custom made, but there's 530 something breweries in New York, so we can't fit.
What city are you guys in?
We're in Syracuse.
Syracuse?
Yeah. So what
made you guys want to come up with this podcast? Like, what motivated you to start this podcast?
Yeah, it's a funny story that involves beer and a campfire.
So our families, we go camping together, and we were just laughing with friends around the fire, joking, and the things you say after a few beers around the fire with your friends. Everybody's laughing their ass off, and then they're like, "Oh, you guys should do a podcast together." And we're like, "Okay." So it kind of like we forgot about it. We're like, "Yeah, maybe that'll be fun." And then maybe a year or two.
That was like 2 years later, yeah.
2 years later, Frank called me, and he was like, "Hey, do you remember we talked about like starting a podcast?" And it's funny because I just bought equipment to do a podcast more like to my work-related stuff. But when you're by yourself, lack of motivation.
Yeah.
He didn't have a Frank, so you needed a Frank.
I didn't have a Frank.
So true. Like, you can only go so far with your own motivation. It takes a team and a village for like just raising children. It's like the same thing with your passions. You're nothing without your team.
Right.
And every single energy that I've gotten from my friends that have supported my little dream to want to be a brewer and like have that life for myself. For me, it's what my future life is like when I retire. What kind of life do I want? And I'm like, I want to be around like families and like our community and be able to interact and have a purpose. And brewing beer, I knew that I could wake up every single day and do that because I love beer.
That's great.
I was like, I can do this.
and you're already supporting the community, and you're not making anything off of it. I mean, you're building a foundation that you're going to build upon, and it's not. I mean, we just met now, but what I get from you is that you're not. What I would think and take away from this is that you're not doing it for that reason, but that's what's happening. You're not on purpose supporting the community so that you can have a great brewery. You are just supporting the community. That's because that's what you want to do, but you're going to end up having a great brewery tap room at some point.
That people want to be a part of.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm definitely 100% love my community and the people that I get to live around and be a part of. I support our local police department and fire department with my student loan company. Just being when you're a local business owner, like both of 714 Brew, we are an online commerce store, www.714brew.com. You can buy all merch from there. It's packed and shipped, so you can order right off of our website. Our online store is there, and that we support the local Huntington Beach Police Department and Fire Department. So yeah, we definitely are here for hopefully the long stay. If not, we can always give away free beer and free shirts and hats, and that's fun, and that's fun too. So,
well, you get to meet you get to meet good people. I mean, and
absolutely,
and that's kind of how we get in this podcast. We realize that we can kind of talk to people. I mean, who knew, right? You know, you don't really. You don't do much small talk and things like that.
So
but
cool.
Now we can talk to people, and it's kind of like I said, we like the stories and everything, and we appreciate you joining us and doing what you're doing.
I think platforms like this too is allowing the voices to spread further, right? Not
Absolutely.
With today's technology, not only across the country but across the world. You know, we have is it 20 some countries that listen to our podcast. You know, like they're gonna hear this. They're gonna hear this, and with today's technology, our voices are automatically translated to their local language.
Yeah, and
I love it.
You know what's weird is like in the last month or so, we got a lot of people listening to us from India. I don't know why, because we could see the analytics, but like they're all over the place. But I don't know what happened in India.
Yeah,
you know,
I love that. That is so awesome. I think that what you guys are doing is brilliant, and
thank you.
So cool to have a hub for this community of people that love beer and want to know about other beers and other places and the stories that go with it.
Yep,
for sure.
I love it so much. I'm so happy that you guys wanted to do this interview today. Like,
we love to. If I had more money and time, I would travel the country and just interview people with breweries.
And that may happen. That may happen. By the way,
like,
and maybe our first stop will be yours.
Hey,
please, come on out to California.
Yeah.
How far is Newport Beach?
Newport is probably about. I live right off of PCH. Like the beach is literally like right there. So I would say like less than 15 minutes on my bicycle. I can probably ride there in like half an hour, but it's like just right at PCH. So like maybe like 15, 20 minutes from here.
Mm-hmm. If I met you earlier and we did this sooner, I was in Newport Beach before we started a podcast, and I was like, oh man, I was not far from there.
Yeah, you're like literally it's the next pier over. Like
HB
really? Pier is right here, and then Newport Pier is the next one.
Oh,
but next time.
Next time. Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
When you guys are in Central Coast, like Central Coast is a beautiful place of beer that is really good beer in Central Coast. That Liquid Gravity is a spot to put on the map when you come out to California. But
I've heard of that before.
Yeah, really good stuff. So, but there's all kinds of good beers out here. When I was there, when I was in New York, tasting the beers and stuff there was really so much fun. I was in the Lower East Side in Soho, Manhattan and stuff. So, but yeah, there's tons of stuff to do.
Yep. You traveled west from New York, correct?
What did you go to Chicago?
I went to Ohio first, to New York, then to South Carolina, and then came back here to Cali.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So did you travel for just fun, or was this like to research beer, or?
It was to research beer, just to try beers. Cincinnati, I think, just got like a really big, huge recognition for a beer, but just like kind of just to check out different breweries and. Was kind of my journey, but
What
visit my family and friends along the way. Yeah.
What beer stood out? Like, do you remember any of the beers you've tried that like you're like, oh man, that one's good?
In Cincinnati, the Rheingeist beer was pretty good. That was in Cincinnati. That one I would say stood out for me. Rheingeist. I don't know if you've heard of Rheingeist in Cincinnati.
Yeah. Nice.
That was pretty fun. Yeah, that was.
What's the next one? What's the next one you're gonna make? What's the next one you're going to try to make?
Okay. So my next beer, we're looking at trying to kind of, because we're doing it for the race cars, we're going to try to do something similar to our BIP beer, which is kind of like a Pilsner, like a really easy basic Pilsner.
Mm-hmm.
I just did a Pilsner with sage in it, my Euphoria. It's a green label. On that label, basically, it's a Pilsner that I made in that beer, which I used a fresh sage. And it turned out really amazing. Like that beer to me is probably one of my favorite next to the Black Dragon. But we're probably going to go with something more of like a Coors Light, kind of just similar to like a Coors Light beer and kind of hone in on that. I got some new hops in from Washington State, which I'm pretty excited to use. It's the Allura. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Allura hops.
Yep.
So I ordered a pretty big package of that. So we're going to try to mess around with that. Maybe get into some tropical IPAs more. So So that's kind of where our direction is like a Pilsner or and a tropical IPA.
Yep.
So for the race, it's going to be crowded, hot. You're looking to do something that's light and easy to drink.
Crisp. Yes.
Nice.
Exactly.
Nice.
And it's got to look like gasoline. It's got to look like fuel.
Well, the race car guys, they love they like the basic Pilsner type, beer. So we're going to try to do a good one for them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so great you get sponsorships like that or kind of exposure anyway, Yeah.
So excited.
I like racing. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with IMSA. So we have Watkins Glen racetrack over here. And so there's all these like Lamborghini teams, Porsche teams, just amazing cars. And every year I go and watch the race, and it's hot, so I bring all kinds of craft beer, and we start conversations. Like, I've made friends with people who also into craft beer, and we're sitting there as these cars fly by. We're just having a conversation, drinking this craft beer, walking down to the pits, like meeting people. And
sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's
sounds
really,
like a good day. But yeah, those are like high end sports cars and like definitely luxury cars. That must be a really cool event to go to.
Exactly. And when they crash, you cringe. You're like, oh man.
Yeah. It's like $200,000, like
easily.
But it's a road course. People like these funny cars, straight ahead, done in 4 seconds. And I saw John Force just got out of hospital.
Oh, what?
John Force was in the hospital for a wreck he had. I think he just got out. Of the hospital. Yeah.
He's okay. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great to hang out with you guys and talk with you guys. I want to do this again.
Absolutely.
I definitely want to bring Jade in. Like, Jade, I know wants to do we're going to work on some beers and stuff and then check in with you guys. And like, hopefully we can hang out and talk again. This is really awesome.
Absolutely. We'll plan for more time in the future.
Cool.
Yeah. And we'll do anything we can to help support you. And whatever, we appreciate you getting on here with us. And
I love having you guys on our team and supporting us.
Always.
Cool. Well, have a great rest of the night.
You too, perfect. Stephanie.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Bye. All right, we're back.
Man, that was a lot of fun.
That was fun. I think that she has a lot more to talk about. And I think that our next interview can be a little longer. We can meet her partners as well. Maybe not all of them, but whoever's available.
I think this is going to be one of many. I think we're going to do that.
Yeah,
if she's willing to do it and her partners. But I like the story. Great time to talk to.
Amazing story and just really fun person to talk to. She's doing such a great things in her community, and it's really interesting how she said the local beer community really changed her life.
Yeah, so we'll have to mention that next time we talk to her about some of these other people we know. She doesn't need our suggestion, but they're doing well and supporting the community like they do now. But like you said, bringing some partners. Like I bet you Jade is funny than fuck.
Yeah. Well, I think we should introduce her to some of the people we know not far from her.
Yep.
I think they would really help.
Really good ambassadors.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
And how cool is that she had this experience with these loans, and then now she's in a position where she can help other people, and she's like, all right, well, I had this struggle.
Yeah.
I don't think that other people should have that struggle.
And as we mentioned, she was one of the top, I think, first 3 followers we had on Instagram. So, 2,800 followers ago, but we got these shirts from them, a hat, and I know she'll mention in the video that there's some changes that she went through on her journey to be where she's at now, and we were kind of introduced, you and I, and her business. We were introduced at the same time those changes were happening. So
yeah, that's
pretty cool. Yeah,
it's cool to be part of it and follow. And
I love the story.
I know, and like all the things that they were posting on social media, like you could see the celebrations that they've had, their followers, their support groups and friends that would show up on social media. That was really nice too.
Yep.
To be like kind of part of it and follow along with it.
But if you guys like this stuff, I mean, I don't know what you can see of my shirt or the logo or some other things they have.
And there's a big logo in the back.
Yeah, hang on, look at that.
They can't see. You got to stand up.
I'm bringing sexy back.
You got to stand up. They can't.
Can't they see in that camera?
No, you got to stand up.
My pants are falling off.
That's okay.
Okay, cool.
There you go. These are pretty cool. So
we wore them on a couple of our posts. But
yeah, I was recently in Maine and I wore mine on the fishing trip.
Yeah, I think it's 714brew.com. So
yeah,
if you guys can go there, support them, buy some of the merchandise, because I don't know if they have a license to sell beer yet.
It's amazing. They're making all this beer and then just supporting community by just giving it a,
Yeah, they're in their infancy. So
yeah,
that helps them to be able to sell a beer to support their community. So
but they have expenses of running a lab and buying hops and brewing beer. And
I don't fucking know.
You'll get it someday. Yeah. And, by buying merchandise from their website kind of supports that.
Yeah, and this is quality stuff. This isn't like cheap material. This is pretty good.
I tell you, when I went deep sea fishing and I wore it, and I'm glad I wore it. I didn't get any sunburn.
Yeah, it's a year old. I mean, really. So we met him a year
just over a year.
Just over a year ago. Yep. So either way, good interview. I hope everybody likes that. And again, let us know how you feel about that format and how we kind of made this episode.
Yeah, we're just trying new things, and I think there's a lot of Instagram followers that will be fun to have on.
Yeah, and people can do that all through our website.
Yeah, just go on our website, and we have connect with us button, I believe, or contact us, and you just fill out. It's a really quick form. You just give us your name, your email address, and just a message that you want to do a podcast with us, and any notes you want to add.
We got 2 more people already scheduled, and a third one we're trying to. No, we got 3 more people already scheduled.
3 people,
and a fourth one we're just hammering out what date works for everybody.
Yeah,
so that's pretty cool. I like that stuff.
How do they say? A lot coming down the pipe.
Well, that's not a sexual reference, is it?
No.
I think it's.
You've never heard that before?
Isn't it a pipeline? No.
What do you mean?
There's a lot coming down the pipeline, like an oil pipeline. There's a lot of fucking oil coming through the pipeline.
Sure,
you're coming down the pipe like you have it confused with sucking on the skin pipe.
All right, so thank you, Stephanie, with 714 Brewery out of California, Huntington Beach, and thank you for the merch you sent us a while back. We try to support and represent the best we can. Go on their website, check them out. Support a local brewery that gives back to community. 100% pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to say no to any Black Dragon Lager or some tropical. What was the tropical one? Tropical Invasion. We won't say no to that either.
Yeah. So if that just lands on our porch, that sounds great.
like stork or carrier pigeon or something.
Yeah.
But no, I'm sure they make good stuff. I saw some pictures on their website, and if you want to go visit that again, it's 714brew.com, and they've got the copper kettles. It's got the logos on it. I mean, it's really cool. They're growing, and I hope it really soon turns into something that her and her whole team can get together and do. On one side.
I'm looking forward to talking more about the artists. I forgot to ask her. Did they put the artist name on the can?
On the cans, yeah.
I was thinking about to ask her, but unfortunately she had another meeting to go to. But we appreciate her. It was kind of, I didn't even expect her to be able to appear today.
It was short notice for all of us, and we appreciate that. But we always have these talking points we want to have, but you get into sort of talking about these things, and one thing leads to another, and you kind of get off topic of what you thought you may talk about, and I'm fine with it, but then you don't get to come back to those things. So it's perfect. It just gives us something to talk about next time.
Exactly. Right. But and also check out our website, brewsnbanter.com. Support us on Patreon. We are there as well, just a $5 tier there, and you see all the interviews of breweries that we've gone to. Or not just breweries, but local companies as well.
This particular episode will be on YouTube.
Yeah.
This won't be on Patreon. So,
This will be on Spotify, on YouTube.
And don't forget to check us out on hoppedupnetwork.com. They follow us, or we follow them on Instagram now. There's also the website, and there's a list of other podcasts, beer-related, that are all in one place. You can kind of pull up the website, and they're all just listed there. You kind of click on it, and you can listen to whatever you want. And we appreciate them for allowing us to be on their platform.
Yeah. So another place you can find our podcast, hoppedupnetwork.com.
Yes, sir.
Let's cheers again to 714 Brewery.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Hey, Hopheads. Frank here.
And Roman. Welcome to Brews and Banter, the podcast where we sip and spill the funniest stories over a cold one.
We're not just brewing laughs and comedy. We also discuss life stories and current events in every episode.
Follow the frolic on our socials, where we brew up more than just banter. Check out linktr.ee/BrewsNBanter for all the goods.
And guess what? We've got a VIP section. Join our Patreon for exclusive content, behind-the-scenes brew secrets, and maybe even a blooper reel or two.
Subscribe, laugh, and unlock the full Brews and Banter experience. Because life is too short for bad beer and boring stories. Cheers.